Good morning, everyone. Once again, this is Goran. I'm sitting here with Marian, who will be assisting me today with today's presentation. Before we start, can I just ask you to send us some kind of message that you can hear us so we have a confirmation from your side, since you'll all be muted for today. Thank you very much. That's it. Before we continue, if you have any kind of questions, Marian is here, so he'll be assisting me. So ask them at any point. We have 4 topics for today. Basically, we are in the middle of the launch session on the second webinar, where we'll be showing several cases, several ideas, several situations where OL Connect made some progress or made some improvements for the customers in the field for real cases or real applications of the software. Since we have 4 topics, it would be a bad idea for you to wait till the end of the session to ask questions. So at any time, just either raise your hand and we will unmute you so you will be able to talk with us, or just ask a question in the question box. And that's about it. Since we have only half an hour scheduled for today, we're moving on right away to our first topic of today, which is bringing extra print volumes for the PSPs, print service providers, or implementing CRD solution within the office environment, within the bigger organizations. Before we go to the topic itself, I would like to explain a little bit about the structure of this slide. Main topic, problem solution, but what is important is left bottom corner of the slide, which is showing you which products are suitable for this kind of solution, and also right bottom part is actually saying what kind of companies or what kind of organizations are suitable for this particular solution for this particular case. So if we talk about this particular case, the problem, what we see on the market is, if we're talking with a PSP who is doing some kind of transactional printouts, they usually have huge capacities because they need to, because they have peak seasons where they print a lot of materials. But the issue with these companies is that they have they are over capacitated. So most of the month they are running low on their infrastructure capacity, and only in the peak season they are they're utilizing all of their capacity. Next issue, what we see in office environment usually is that there could be a need for print production machine, but it's simply hard to get people used to sending these printouts to larger machines, to more cheaper printout machines. So the solution is basically giving us the answer for these 2 main issues in these 2 separate environments. When we talk about ad hoc mail, it's basically small batches, 1-2 page documents on several occasions happening throughout the day, either some kind of contracts or some kind of letters or some kind of memos, which are quite common in all organizations everywhere. But the problem with them is that there's a lot of manual work, manual handling, printing, enveloping, writing the addresses, and this kind of things, which is taking a lot of time, which is for PSP is taking a lot of back office work to contract these, to get those orders, and these kind of things. Basically, what we have created as a solution is something I would like to show you. What you can see right now is simple Word document, simple, I think it's a standard lorem ipsum document with some address. It's something we need to send by mail. So instead of Parker, we're going to send it to Marian. Once we are done with the document itself, the procedure is quite the same as usual. We're just going to print it, but we're going to choose Connect Send Print Driver. That's the solution we're talking about today. As soon as we hit the print button, what is going to happen is that one pop-up window, one workflow thing is triggered, and we get a landing site which is driving us through the rest of the process itself. This landing site is quite simple. On the top left side, there's some general information about the document, where it's coming from, some reference number, etc., etc. On the lower part, there's a form with actual values which we can influence. This is something which is being created for each customer separately. This is a demo session for us. We're running this on a server in Canada. So this is general thing, general information when important for sending the mail piece. And on the right side, there is a really nice feature which is showing you the preview of the document itself. So you can see that it says Dear Mr. Marian instead of Peter Parker. And you can actually see all the changes happening on the document before approving it and sending it to the print department. So basically, some of the settings which are available in this demo is if we're talking about a single document, fixed length document, variable, if we want an envelope used on this document, when I say yes, I need an envelope C5. What is going to happen is it's going to show where the envelope window is, so we can see if that's correct. But also, we get an extraction for the address which we used on the document. So this literally became metadata, which can be used for any other system, for any other option within the document itself. Next option we're choosing, if we're going to use a memo, a letterhead, stationery. So I chose stationery. So sorry guys, there seems to be some kind of issue with one of the participants. They don't hear us, so
could you please confirm that you hear us on the chat? Yes, it's okay. Goran, I will see it.
Okay, so it's just one person. Then we'll deal with this separately. I'll continue, and Marian will try to get this corrected. I chose the letterhead, the stationery, which is one of a kind letterhead for the first page with the address. For the second or for the following pages, it doesn't have the address because it makes no sense. So we choose another one. Do we want to print it once, simplex or duplex? What kind of postal service we need? I'll take the first class. I know that when I talk for my region, but I think it's quite common for other regions as well. Here can be not first class, second class, but is it priority? Is it by hand or some other services which the postal provider is actually providing? This is the information where the cost is going to be accredited to which profit center, and if we need a confirmation being sent to the email, we can do it this way. So basically, if we are satisfied with the document itself, we can now print it. The document itself will not be sent to the printer next to us, to the small printer on our table, or to the printer in the corridor, in the hallway, but it's going to be sent to Oil Connect server, where the print operator has all of the information. As you can see, I'm using this example a lot to show when showing this solution. The print operator now has overview of all the documents being sent to the printout. What he can do right now is simply batch all the documents and simply group, sort, print it, put additional marks if necessary for enveloping machine or something else. So in the end, these documents can be printed and then simply transferred to the postal service. What I've just opened right now is the job confirmation which I received from the system itself. So I'm being notified that I have sent this document with 2 pages, one document with 2 pages for the printout. This is my reference number. So if I want to see the preview, I can see the document itself, or I can just simply, as a user, connect to this one and I just click delete or print or do something with the document itself. So basically, this way, there is not much changes going on with the end user. So all of the users who are developing the documents, doing everything they used to do, they have not a single thing for them has changed. The only thing that has changed, they don't have to get up, they don't have to find the envelope, they don't have to write the address anymore, because that service is either being outsourced to PSP, which they use, or it's being transferred to some other CRD department within the organization. So basically, this is how we think the process should work. The printer, the user prints everything as they are used to. Oil Connect Sense takes over the document. Customer approves it. It's being sent to the server. Server takes the information from the ERP system for accounting, for payments, and this kind of things. And the print operator actually prints it when he gets enough documents for the print, or in designated time, let's say 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. or whatever the designated time would be for the mail pieces for today. Uses the enveloping machines, uses the other technology, uses the barcodes if necessary, in order to get the information on the document, print it, and just passes on to postal services. Basically, what we see here is that PSPs get bigger volumes, get better utilization of existing equipment, better relationship with the customer because they provide additional service for them. Also, let's not forget about the possible discounts which they can acquire from the postal services majority, because that's the most expensive part of this process. The customer itself has benefits in reduced manual handling, no more walking, no more enveloping, no more handwritten addresses. They get lower cost of printouts because PSP usually get much cheaper printouts than users from office environment. They eliminate unnecessary office walking, so they can focus on their core business. Also, this is another way to optimize the print environment in the office organizations with implementing the CRD environment. And the benefits for the partner, for you, is both customers, or in every case, they're going to need bigger printers for bigger volumes. So basically what we see here with this example is that we have a win-win-win situation for all 3 involved parties on this particular case. So that would be the one example of our Connect system. If there are any questions, please send them now, or if there is something you would like to know or do regarding this example, I'll wait for a few moments if there's some question. If there isn't, I'd like to go to second example, which we prepared for today, which is basically something that we do from the beginning of the company, from the first days, from 93. This is something we grew up on. It's personalization. It's basically variable data print tool. It's a communication platform on the other side. It's a document assembly on the third side. It's suitable for print service providers with printing personalized brochures, postcards, business cards, name tags, tickets, etc., etc. For small or large enterprises, by using this platform as a communication tool, because the platform itself can use any possible channel, print out, email, web, fax, SMS, whatever channel you need, we can send the messages through that. And there is one particular utilization for this case. It's for law offices or debt collection agencies. That's something I recently worked on a case. The situation with them is that they get, let's say for debt collection agencies, when they purchase the debt or something, they get the data within the Excel files, within the PDF files, within different data sources. So what can they do is actually collect all this data, create the documents which they need to notify the end users about these kind of things. So they can use this kind of solution for doing that. We have a question. Do you have a postal service client for this application? I'm guessing you're thinking about personalization issue or the first one. I'm really not sure. We have a lot of postal service clients. So in my region, every country except Croatia is actually using this in a post office. What they usually do is transactional printouts, which is a service that the post office is offering itself. So they simply create the documents from different data sources which their customer provide, and they create invoices, they create different kind of documents which then they distribute to their own channels. If we talk about Connect Send, then no, we don't have a postal service clients for Connect Send, the first example. The idea is actually not very bad. It's actually a really good idea, but we don't have such implementation yet. Have I answered your question?
Okay, thanks.
Not a problem. Feel free to ask any other questions when we get to them. So going back to personalization, let me show you how the system actually looks and how the personalization is being done. What you see right now is our designer module. It says Press Connect Designer, but basically it's same for Print Shop, Mail, or Planet Press. It looks the same, only the color of the icon is different. So it's a platform module called Designer. In the center, you can see the document itself. On the right side, you can see the data. I already added some data inside. So we have Miss Lena Crop, or we have Mr. Jack Carmona, or we have Madame Liz Lima. It's a Canadian document. So on the left side, you can actually see resources or the scripts which are being implemented on the document itself. If I turn on the preview, we can actually see what is going on with the document itself, how it's being personalized with the date field, with the address. Dear Lisa, if I change the data, it's going to say, Dear Selma. You can actually see that the signature from the salesperson is changing. You can see that some images are being changed. So there's a lot of things which are actually different within the document itself. It's really simple to add the data. So if we want to do the title, we just drag and drop the information. So now it's going to say, Dear Mr. Ruben, instead of Dear Ruben. If we want to put some kind of condition inside, we can simply right click on the paragraph, on the image or whatever, and see and decide what is going to happen if the country, in this case, the country equals to information USA. It's going to hide the particular paragraph. So this paragraph, what you see right here, is going to be hidden for all the customers which are coming in from United States. All the others are going to get 10% discount for renewal membership renewal fees. I don't know what is the reason for that, but somebody who created a document must know this kind of things. So this is a simple document where we just use data. But what is quite interesting is to show you how we can actually add some kind of different data if we want to add the, let's say, phone number in the barcode, which the idea is not to have the barcode, but to have some kind of information which is going to be like a barcode that is being used for as an OMR mark for enveloping purposes, which is oftenly used. So we have all this information as a certain number in the document, changing all the time with this kind of thing. If we want to add, let's say, another thing which I found really interesting or on the market is adding QR codes or 2D barcodes. What is being done currently in the region is adding these 2D marks on the invoices so that the customers can actually take a picture and just pay it or read all the necessary information from the QR code and just pay it in the application. What we can do right here, or just to show you how it easy to address these kind of things. Sorry. We can actually see that the QR code with the data itself is being inserted. It's being changed all the time. If we need to add, okay, we have address. Let's say we need employee first name, employee last name for some reason. That can be any different data, and it's just being added and transferred. So all these things can easily be implemented here by using business cards, by using creating the name tags. What is really cool about the system itself, it takes care of the overflow. So if you have my name is fairly simple, it's Goran Novak, so it's going to fit in any box, but there is a colleague of mine, Dujan Nebojša Panđić Marijan. So if they need to create a business card for me and him at the same time, the system itself is going to shrink his name or not allow it to go outside of the margins and this kind of things, which is quite useful when you're creating name tags for 1,000 people. So you don't have to check every one of them. You can just simply add rules and insert this kind of things inside. This was just a short demo. What I wanted to show you how easy it is actually to create these variable things, to use all these simple things by combining data, numbering, text, barcodes, images, tables, nested tables. You can use all sorts of conditions inside for personalization. And what is best thing, you can actually send it to any kind of channel, either print or email or web or tablet solutions, mobile solutions. You can do email blasts, whatever. One other thing, what I would like to show you here is how the system is really powerful when you need to print it. There's a lot of options which you can combine here some of them, either booklet in position, cat and stack in position, if you need to do an up, inserter marks, so you can use standard features from the existing machines, from the kern or Pitney Bowes or any kind of other machine. You can do all sorts of separations or grouping or this kind of things. So if you need to cut the continuous feed, you can just define how are the documents going to be stacked. So you don't need to sort them afterwards. So it's quite a useful tool for PSPs, for variable data print, or for communicating different messages to any kind of organization itself. Any questions on personalization? I see that we are almost out of time, so I'm going to speed up a little bit. If there are any questions, feel free to ask. I'll come to them later on. I'll be moving on to the next case, which is business process optimization by using mobile platform. You can see the solution which are being used for this, and what we think is that they're suitable for larger or medium enterprises on the market. What is the problem that it's being taken care of by this solution is manual data entry, retyping the data, scanning the OCR, OCRing the forms, slow information interchange within the departments, error-prone process. So all this can be rectified by using the mobile solution. There are two examples which I would like to show you. One of them is working orders for field service. The other one is proof of delivery. I'm going to switch to our mobile application. What you see right now is the interface for Windows platform, which is cool because I can run it on my laptop right now. But basically, similar interface is available for Android and iOS operating systems. What you see are all the documents which I have available on my mobile. What I'm going to do right now is take care of this repair service ticket, which was scheduled for me to do. We can see information being edited by the system, by the help desk system, which created the ticket. We can see the customer information. So we need to go to visit Objective Loan in Canada. What needs to be done is we need to contact Philip Quast when we get there. So we can use, we can see what kind of information. If we talk about, let's take MFP for example. We can see the unit number of MFP, where it's being located, what is the producer, model, serial number. Also, what is possible, we can do the clocking. So I spend some time traveling, like a minute. So I'm spending some time on the site. What needs to be done? We need to change drum unit. So parts have been used, yes. Which part? We used from car stock quantity, drum unit for Canon MFP. What was the cost, or what was the thing that we used? What is the end result? Was it resolved? Yes. No, not the additional, but it was in the warranty. It was recommended replacement. I don't know. We used the tolls. This is an option which is really cool. You can, for some reason, take pictures as evidence. Right now, it's going to just show you myself. So that's me and Marian. Some going on as an evidence. What is important that the customer can actually sign the document. I'm going to use my mouse so that it's not going to be very pretty signature, but the idea is to use the pen on the mobile device, on the tablet. So once we do all this, we're just gonna put the clocking that we are done. So once we submit the form, now it's being communicated, now it's being delivered. So some other processes are being triggered on the backend, and the end result is right now, the end result will be a document which is being delivered to the customer itself. So I can download it. The document is being designed as a service order, as a working order. So with all the necessary information, with all the information that were actually used in the call itself. So we can calculate how much it needs to be paid, invoiced to the client. If it's in the warranty, it's not going to be invoiced. We have the signature. We have all the evidence. We have all the information, how long it took us to get there. We have GPS information. So all these things are packed within the document itself. On the other hand, we have all this information available to send to any other system within the organization. We can provide it in any form, in XML, in CSV, in any other form required by the end system, by the financial system, by other systems which are going to take care of this information themselves. And next example which I wanted to show you is actually proof of delivery. But since we're already halfway over since we spend a lot of time, I would like to skip this example and go to the other one, so not to take too much of your time. Basically, what are the benefits for these kind of solutions is that we eliminate paper forms. All the people on the field need are on the tablet, so we eliminate pre-printed papers, we eliminate the cost of that, we eliminate the necessity to rewrite the data, to enter, to digitize this information. All the information are created digitally. They can be transferred to any kind of line of business system which I can actually use, like ERP, like help desk, to close the ticket. Databases are being updated in the real time. If we talk about the proof of delivery example, we don't have to wait for the driver to come back to the office to give us the proof of delivery documents, bill of ladings, so that the logistics department can see that something wasn't given to the customers, so they need to create another form. So the layover is going to be for 1 day at least for the customer to get the exact what they ordered. And what is more important, we have better archiving quality because the document is already digital, doesn't need to be scanned, doesn't need to be OCR'd anymore. So we can just transfer all these documents to archiving, to ECM solutions, and just store them with all necessary metadata from the system itself. So that's one way of using these mobile solutions for field service, for proof of delivery, for logistic companies. I'm going to show you one more example for that, but the benefits are quite huge if we talk about business process optimization. If there are any questions, please feel free to ask, but I'll move on to next topic, which is and the last topic for today, actually, which is an idea for insurance industry. It can be used by all the systems we have in the Connect platform. The problem which we can address here there are several. The first of them is personalized communication. I think we all have experience with insurance industry and either with car or life insurances or home insurance. Uh, all the communication which is being handled over there, at least with my experience, is being handled by print channel, which is cool, but totally improper in today's life. If they want me to renew my car policy insurance, they just need to send me an email with the quote, with the idea to meet on Thursday, 10 a.m. at their premises, just to resolve everything I can do to renew the policy and what is the name? Register the car for that year. Second issue is document handling. They have a lot of internal documents, a lot of policies, a lot of documents which later on are being scanned. Once they're being scanned, they need to extract all the metadata and transfer them to archiving system and other systems, which is causing a lot of manual work, a lot of IT systems which need to extract all this data, which in my opinion is quite stupid because most of these documents are created digitally. So there are two options here. You can simply add barcodes which contain the metadata. You can add QR codes which contain all the necessary information. So the scanning would be much easier, or you don't have to scan it at all. You can simply, when printed, at the same time, just send it to ECM platform, and by that, reducing their internal processes. Damage report is one idea for using the mobile platform, where the idea is that the employee who's actually doing the damage evaluation and taking all the pictures and doing all the questioning for the end user can actually use the form just like the one I just showed you, but with the information which are relevant for the damage incident. If he takes all the pictures, they can be automatically stored as a evidence within the form. The customer can sign off. Damage report can immediately from the field be sent to the department which is responsible for dealing with the damage requests. They can automate this process and see if it's being automatically approved or disapproved, or they can have their information much sooner. I know that, to be honest, insurance company, it's not their best interest to resolve the damage issue as soon as possible, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they need to approve it right away. What is interesting for them is to have this information so they can actually see what's going on in the future. They can plan much better. They can see what is waiting for them in 14 days or in the near future. Quotes creation is actually one other thing which is interesting for insurance companies. When you have, maybe not for car policies, but for life insurances or home insurances, it's much more interesting because you have different kind of sales. When you have a sales rep talking to you and you meet somewhere, so you talk about 1, 2, 3 options or possibilities where they can create the quotes on the spot. They can simply use the form. They can check all the options which they need. They can have this information entered and sign the document. For some reason, I cannot sign it right now. I'm sorry, there's something going on with my laptop and the form is not listening to me anymore. They can sign the document and send the invoice, not the invoice, but the quotation right away. And that way they can start the sales process right away. Because what's going on right now is that sales rep finishes the meeting, goes back to the office, had a couple of meetings for today. So at the end of the day, he needs to create all the quotes, send it to the right people. He may be tired, he may be unavailable at this point, so he loses time, and the potential customer goes to some other sales rep or simply forgets about what they talked about. The idea here, since we can transfer the quote to the email, to the CRM system, is to automate this sales process for the insurance company itself. So what are the benefits of these things? Are automated communications, proper channel use for proper messages. If they're sending a message, happy birthday, Goran, that's really nice to send it on a fancy paper with a gold letters and with a scented paper. But if they want me to renew my car policy, it needs to be right away. It needs to be on email. It needs to be in my calendar. All the documents can be modified for easier scanning, managing, handling throughout any business processes for scanning, for archiving purposes. Damage reports can be automated. The information will be coming much faster, and they will be ready for whatever is coming, or they will know what's coming in the future. Automated sell process is one of them, and easier document creation and distribution. Having this system implemented will be one of the basic benefits. These are actually 4 items which I wanted to present for today. I'm sorry it took a bit longer than I expected, but we have still some time for questions. If there are any questions, we'll wait a bit for any possible questions that might be coming in from your side. If there aren't any questions, I would like to thank you for joining us today. I hope that these examples have been interesting. For the next time, I won't be showing 4 of them, because obviously it's going to take more than 30 minutes. So we'll be showing 3, but then we'll be having more time for each and every one of them to show in more detail. So I'm hoping that's okay with you. If you have any notions what you would like to see, you can still contact us by email and have a suggestion, so maybe we can prepare. The next and last webinar is taking place on Tuesday, next Tuesday, same time. I'm sorry, I think this is a mistake. So we're starting at 10, not 9. Hope to see you then. Last time on last session, I'm gonna show you some tools which you can actually use yourself for this kind of demos, and what is actually prepared by us, so you can use it yourself. If there are any questions, we'll be still here. If not, thank you very much. See you on Tuesday.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Have a nice day. Bye. Pretjerano je ovo 4, nema
Aha, yes.
nema šanse.
When we receive presentation, to Carmen.
I got a question. If the presentations will be received, all the webinars are being recorded, so you will get the recordings most definitely. But I think the presentations can be shared as well with all the notes and comments with inside, so you can use that as well. That's something we'll do when all 3 webinars are finished. So at that point, we'll share all this information along with some other materials with you. So don't worry about it. You'll have all the materials. Sad. A dobro, on je tu, njega je lako obići. Man, previše je 4, nismo trebali.